Hey guys, I just wanted to do a quick explanation of what the Velocity Money is and kind of how I founded it and where my heart comes from in association with it. So I'm Frank DePold from the Velocity Money, and I've been in the mortgage business since 2001. But before that, I actually had my first piece of real estate in 1995. When I bought properties in the 90s, I bought them, they went up in value. I thought I was smart, so I would buy another one. And then that one would go up in value, so I thought I was smart. I wasn't smart. The cyclical nature of the market really controlled the properties going up in value. But in 2005, 6, and 7, I got too aggressive prior to the financial crisis, and I started buying real estate for the wrong reasons. I started buying real estate for appreciation, for cool beach towns, for a cool mountain in Colorado, and I was justifying not a great investment, meaning the one in Colorado, for example, was losing $10,000 a year. But I was like, oh, it's really cool. It's ski in, ski out. It's a condo hotel. I can do it. And so, there's obviously a flavor of when you want to use your own vacation rentals, but that's a different story. Because I got in trouble doing that, fast forward to 2018, I wrote this material called The Velocity Money. And I'm a big believer that everybody needs 3 pieces of real estate to retire. Most of America wants to buy real estate. They just don't know how. And there's a difference between an owner-occupied mentality and an investor mentality. And oftentimes in a marriage, husband or wife, somebody loves the idea of burying money in the backyard. Maybe both husband and wife. And equity, I say, is like not a good use of money, but I'm not asking people to strip all their equity and buy Lamborghinis. What I'm saying is we have to look at our financial picture as a pie chart. And if 80 or 90% of our net worth is buried in our backyard because it feels good to have equity, right? Because I always say equity is a feeling. That's not great. And we can reallocate some of those assets to real estate, to other real estate. So say somebody is interested in buying real estate, but they sort of don't know where to begin. Well, we have this formula that I created called the Power 4. And if it fits into the Power 4, you're golden. Why? Because it's based on cash flow and cash flow analysis. It's what I call yield. And yield is the total money that you have invested divided by the cash flow. So if you invest $50,000 in a property and the property makes $10,000 a year, it's a 20% yield. If it has yield, which is box 1 in my Power 4, all the other 3 boxes follow. So not only do we show people how to buy more real estate, we have a spreadsheet that allows them to orchestrate the purchase of more real estate without losing. And then if it has the proper yield, they have enough money to use from the tenants to pay this off in 15 or 20 years. 30-year fixed mortgage for best cash flow. We pay it off early. We take half the cash flow, pay down a loan. We take the other half of the cash flow, put it in an escrow account. Now, as realtors, through the Power 4, I've created this thing called the YADA method. The YADA method helps you guys analyze real estate, somebody else's listing, and you guys can be like, hey, this property has a 22% yield, put it on social, hit me up, and I'll let you know what that means, and I can help educate you. If you're a realtor or a loan officer, guys, we have to add value in our conversations. The Power 4, the Velocity Money, all add value to the conversations. Now, to take it a step further, I also trademark 3 products. First-time homebuyer products that allow people to move into the property owner-occupied. And then there's a really cool system where in 3 years, they can own 3 properties, and it's $1 million in real estate for $50,000 or less. I also have a trick in my coaching program to show people how to get $1 million in real estate for $16,500. And I have a really cool program for our veterans, because they deserve it, how to show them how to get $1.25 million worth of real estate for $11,000 or less. So 80% of our loans are owner-occupied loans. Why? Number one, we need to start people somewhere, right? You never want to start with an investment property. You want to start with the property you live in, get used to the mortgage, figure out what you're doing, right? And over time, things get cheaper when you have a fixed mortgage, meaning, it seems expensive on day one, but what happens is with inflation and everything else, your 30-year fixed mortgage becomes cheaper and cheaper, especially when rates go back down and we refi everybody for free. Now, one last thing. So at the end of the day, when there's a seminar that I'm doing, there's always three groups of people in the room: first-time home buyers, current homeowners, and real estate investors. We can help every single one of them. A lot of times, agents don't call their database because they don't know what to say to their database. We could say to the database, hey guys, how would you like 100% financing? All we're doing is taking the down payment out of the current home. We're reallocating some of the assets to buy another home. So whether you're a first-time home buyer, we show you how to buy 3 properties in 3 years, or you're a current homeowner and we show you how to buy investment real estate, or you're a real estate investor who thinks they're only going to flip, I show you how to reverse engineer the yield on a flip to decide whether you want to keep that property or not. Because the wealthiest people are the ones that have residual income. And what I'm talking about is generational wealth. And if somebody's moving from California to Florida, maybe they don't have to sell that house. I mean, if they have $500,000 in equity, they probably want to. But maybe we take $100,000 out to buy something else and we turn that one into a rental because, by the way, rents have doubled in the last 10 years, guys. And real estate, on average, doubles in America every 18 and a half years. There is no better investment than real estate, and nobody has ever married real estate and mortgage like I have. Why? Because I bought and sold over 50 properties. I've also owned 2 mortgage companies and been involved in over $3 billion in mortgage loans. So I've seen it all. And I've taken this connection, married the 2. I'm training loan officers. I'm training agents how to have better conversations. Last topic. A renter today says to you, hey, I don't want to buy right now because rates are high and values are high. Yes, that's true, but they don't understand the math. Here's the answer, guys. Role play. What if I could show you a way to make $20,000 a year on your property in year 1, and it would only grow year after year? We have this cool program called the Velocity Money. You could speak to the founder, Frank Dippold, and he'll explain it to you. And if you're a realtor or a loan officer, guys, I have a PowerPoint slide that shows you exactly the math. And the numbers do not lie. And by the way, I have one more slide that shows what if you bought 2 or 3 years ago at $50,000 over ask at 4.5% versus right now you might pay at ask at 6.5 or 6.75%. Did you know that the payment is actually a little bit better if you buy now because you've actually purchased that property for $50,000 less? And when we refi you in a year, 2 years, whatever, every point we save somebody on a $350,000 loan is $250 a month. So imagine if the rates went 2 points lower. I know we all think that's crazy, but at 6 3/4, all we have to do is get to 4 3/4. By the way, 2 years ago, guys, I gave people 2 3/4. So the market's going crazy. We know this. It's always a good time to buy real estate. It's not always a good time to buy every piece of real estate. That's why my Power 4 and financial analysis tool is the tail of the tape. My goal is to help 10,000 everyday Americans retire using real estate. Whether we're starting with their first property or we're helping them get property number 2, 3, 4. And if you're an agent or a loan officer, imagine the value that you would bring to your clients by having these conversations. So hit us up. We'd love to educate you. We'd love to help your clients. If you're a realtor, I'd love to make you better. And by the way, if you're an agent, you have to have your own 3 properties. God bless everyone. Thanks for listening.